So it's pre-final time for the Minimax class. Here they come out the pits. If you're with us on the live stream, you would have just seen we got to speak to the top 6. So that was good. There's your grid. Max Turillian on pole position, with support all the way back in Argentina. Suleiman Zamfari, driver who raced in the CRK FIA Karting Academy Trophy. Suleiman alongside him on the front row, adapting back to the Rotax classes very fast. On row 2, it's Marcel Reisenberger. We spoke to him on the grid as well. As I asked him the question, where you plan to finish in this one? What's your plans for the first couple of laps? Win. Well, I guess looking back, reviewing my own question, maybe not the best thing to ask a racing driver, because you're only ever going to get the same answer. They want to win. It's as simple as that. Marcel Reisenberger in a very good position to do that. Dan Suga on the outside of row 2. Again, very, very confident as well. We got to speak to Shahan Ali Mohsin as well, Indian champion, jumping up to Minimax this year. And a hello to everyone supporting Shahan back home. Thanks for being with us. Alongside Marius Christiansen, a driver who has been to the grand finals and said it's a great event and he's got 2 races to try and get to that win, and he's going to be desperate to be there. Bence Valint, we didn't quite get to speak to Bence, although I would have loved to. Likewise, Philip Yannick, but they are on row 4. Likewise, I would have loved to speak to all the drivers, but we just ran out of time in the end. But row 5 is Murai Kataro and Jarek Spinkovic. Then it's Felix Aparicio and Tim Stepix. Then it's Bouts Vlint and Linus Henson, who was quickest in warm-up. Victor Obarzenik and Con Ruben are row 8. In fact, Linus Henson, I can't remember if he was quickest in warm-up, but I do remember talking a lot about him before they went out in warm-up. Fahad Al-Khalid and Charlie Wirtz, row 9. David Dominic Valtuts and Tobias Toshik, row 10. Georgi Kudrav, Stev and Cohen Dawn, row 11. Kamal Akhar and Philip Pust, row 12. Dominko Arnold and Doltan Kovac. So, of course, grid has now gone from your screens, and we got a nice view of the whole field. 26 drivers out there. This is 14 laps, the pre-final, to determine the grid for the later final. So we've had 2 very good pre-finals from Micromax so far. Can Minimax deliver as well? Up towards the last corner they come. To the left, Max Turillian. To the right, Suleiman Zamfari. Right, onto the start-finish straight we go. Will it be a first-time start? Wait for the lights to go out, then you can move out the corridors, which they have done now. Going straight into 7 was Marcel Reisenberger as they head up towards turn number 2 and up to the chicane. Max Turillian has got a bit of a gap here. Unbeaten so far this weekend, Max Turillian, as he heads up towards the hairpin. Marcel Reisenberger might lose second. Oh, well, a yellow flag. We've got a couple of drivers off there. One driver has turned round completely now. That was the 126, I think that was, who was delayed. Might have been actually Dominko Arnold or Victor Obarzenik, and the 177 was the other, who was Kamal Akhar. Oh, and 106, I think that is, which is David Dominic Valtuts, who might already be out the race, and yellow flags as a result going in towards turn 1 as they make their way. There is the stricken cart of what I believe is David Dominic Valtuts. We'll confirm when they come across the line. Or Kamal Akhar. Yes, it is David Dominic Valtuts, who was due to start 19th. So a shame for David, as the drivers now making their way through the middle part of the circuit on this second lap. Down the back straight, Max Turillian, similar to a couple of heats yesterday, already away and clear. Suleiman Zamfari in second place. Oh, and just a little bit of overtaking being done there. Good moves being done. Marcel Reisenberger is third. Fourth place is Shahan Ali Mohsin, who heads through the second corner and up towards the chicane. Behind that is Dan Suga, then it's Philip Yannick and Marius Christiansen, then it's Bence Vlint, and behind that it's Murai Kataro. And then it's Jelek Spinkiewicz. Now, there was a couple of moves there. One of them, I believe, was Mirai Katara actually losing a place. As we see, let's have a look when they come through. In fact, that was the 1-2-3 who I believe made a pass. Marius Christiansen going back up the inside there of Bence Vlint, as drivers now make their way down towards us, and here they come. Through the right-hander they go. It's the first corner. This is lap number 4 of 14. Face of Wondering. Through the chicane, and leader away. You can see the gap to the left of your picture, 1.5 seconds. Oh, and a good move there. Now that was on Bence Vlint. That move was made. That was Jelek Spinkiewicz who went up the inside. Caught me out, let alone Bence Vlint. Bence Vlint not having a very good start to this race at the moment. Had an initial good getaway, but now down to 9th place as the chasing group leads their way into the last corner. The top 10 fairly spread apart here. We've got the leader, 1.7 seconds clear of Zanfari, Reisenberger, and Ali Mosin, and then Suga. Well, then about second behind that, it's Suga, Jelek, Christiansen, and we also have in there Spinkiewicz, who's on the move in the early stages, and then Vlint, and rounding out the top 10 is Mirai Katara. Lap 5 of 14 this is, as they head through the sweeping left-hander and onto the back straight. Through the chicane and through that right-hander, down now towards the last chicane go the race leaders. We're almost approaching half race distance then, and could this be a change for third that we are about to see as the leaders turn their way up towards the chicane? That's third in queue, 4th place, Shahan Ali Mosin, and there it comes the move we were expecting up the inside onto what would be, if we're in the final, a podium position. But for now, that would be an inside row 2 start. Oh, and Dan Suga side by side with Philip Jelek, I believe that is. Just defending the place rather than making one. That, I imagine, was an attempted move from Jelek that didn't quite work. As they head now through the chicane once more, turn their way down towards the last corner. And Suleiman Zanfari has been able to just break away now from the 2 drivers behind. Max Turillian, 2.1 seconds clear, all in his own air. Max Turillian is going along very, very well this weekend, and the question is, can he be beaten? In my opinion, if he's going to be beaten, he needs to be passed very, very early. Now look at Dan Suga. We just caught a glimpse of Dan Suga there with a lot of pressure to deal with. Let's see, there he is. Here they come now through the right-hander, 5, 6, 7 in that queue, and these 3 in chase. Oh, and here comes a move. Well, Dan Suga almost passed by Philip Jelek as they went through the chicane there. Jelek, who qualified second yesterday for the heat, starts this one in 8th, so understandably eager to get past and get a good grid spot for the final. Then it's Marius Christiansen, Spinkiewicz, and Bence Vlint, and then about half a second back we have Mirai Katara. Dan Suga on the defensive once again. Oh, and well, an attempted move behind. That was Philip Jelek, was it? In fact, that was Spinkiewicz who was having a little look. Bence Vlint there in the yellow race helmet behind, and in the Intrepid livery, that's Mirai Katara. Then there's the 2 in chase, which are Felix Aparicio, Linus Henson, Bouts Flint, trying to chase down as well as they turn their way onto the start-finish straight. Now, since getting past Reisenberger, Shahan Ali Mosin hasn't really been able to drop the Team Reisenberger driver, as Dan Suga defending that time into the right-hander where he didn't really need to. Now he looks over his shoulder, he'll see he's got a gap. No need to defend, Dan. Let's get on with it. Try and get a gap over this intense battle and chase after those drivers ahead. Now behind, there has been a change because Philip Jelek has lost a place. Leading that queue of carts for 6th is now Marius Christiansen. As here come the here comes that battle for third. Here's the next battle though. This is the main battle on track. There's Marius Christensen, and then the 109 is Yannick. The 165 is Spinkovic, and then it's Bench Flint, and the 103. And a little bit of defending going on there from Yannick as they head up towards the right-hander. Oh, that would have been a bold move if Philip would have tried it. Oh, and a bit of contact there. Well, that looks like race over for Murai Kataro. That was Bench for Lint, I believe, who made contact. Well, in fact, it might have been someone behind that. Could have been Aparicio or Linus Henson. I wouldn't like to assume anything, but certainly the 132, Murai Kataro, looks out of this race. Looked like some damage to the front end, perhaps steering column may have been bent, or a stub axle could be gone. But nevertheless, the race must go on, and unfortunately it's going to go on without him, as the leaders coming up to this hairpin. Dan Suga in chase. There's the yellow flags to show. Well, there was one driver there. That was Verts, who was about to think, who would have been thinking for a move had he not saw the yellow flag. But look at this battle for second. I'm glad we picked this up, because Suleiman Zamfari is starting to be caught here by Ali Mosin and Reisenberger. Marcel Reisenberger has drove very patiently here in just letting Shahan Ali Mosin do the leading. And he's just following, just waiting to see if they can catch Suleiman Zamfari. Up towards the hairpin they go. Oh, well, as I say that, Reisenberger, oh, well, almost put one up the inside there. Behind there is a move. Dan Suga's just been passed by Marius Christiansen. Christiansen, who we spoke to on the grid, now up to 5th place. So moving, started this race 6th. 5th is a lot better than starting 6th, I can tell you that. An inside start, always a lot better, as we're about to start the penultimate lap. We haven't seen much of the leader. That's because he's so far ahead. The gap exactly, as you can see, 3.4 seconds. Well, this gap, Christensen then has to be careful. Dan Suga wasn't quite able to take advantage of that gap he had a couple of laps ago. Now looking behind, Philip Yannick is just there, as is Spinkovic, as is Bench Flint. Oh, and Dan Suga might have a look at the inside here. In the end, I think it was more of a slightly defensive line, or is that just a preferred line? I'm not too sure from Dan Suga, but we'll try and pick up that second place battle, because it looks like Suleiman Zamfari was being caught as this battle then for 5th place makes its way in towards the last corner, being led now by Marius Christiansen. Max Turillian started the last lap. Oh, and here we go. It's all on for 3rd place as they make their way through the last corner. I can tell you, Marcel Reisenberger will want that 3rd place desperately from Shahan Ali Mosin. Here they are, into the chicane. Oh, and a mistake there. Well, I think that could be that battle done. I'm not sure if Reisenberger will be able to pull that gap back. It's for Max Turillian. Doesn't look like we're going to get many changes. Maybe Bench for Lint on Spinkovic, which we're picking up now. And there we go. Bench Flint, good move up the inside. So that looks like that from those battles. Max Turillian is already about to head through the last corner. Here he is, and Max Turillian takes the win. Yet to be beaten this weekend. 2nd place goes to Suleiman Zamfari. 3rd to Shahan Ali Mosin. Marcel Reisenberger finishes in 4th place. Marius Christiansen is 5th. Dan Suga finishes 6th place, and it's Philip Yannick in 7th. Yannick Spinkovic is 8th place. Bench Flint finishes 9th. Linus Henson finishes 10th place. Then it's Bouts for Lint in 11th. Charlie Verts finishes in 12th. And behind that, Kun Ruben, Fahad Al Khalid, Felix Aparicio 15th. And it's Victor Obarzenik, Tim Stipich, Kemal Aghart, Georgi Krudrav Stev, Dominko Arnold, Dorian Kovacs, Cohen Dorn, Tobias Poshik, Philip Pust in 24th. Then, unfortunately, the non-finishers, Murai Kataro, who we saw come off at the right-hand hairpin there about halfway through the race. There's confirmation of the results. Unfortunately, David, Dominic Faltitz didn't make a lap, but there we go. Max Turillian, Suleiman Zamfari, Shahan Ali Mosin, your top three. That's the pre-final. That's exactly how they will start the final. That's first to 17. There's 18 through to 16. Just the two non-finishers could be ones to watch in the later final. But next race, next time we see Minimax out, it will be for the prize of the ticket to the grand final. But in the pre-final, in the box seat for that, is Max Turillian, and alongside on the front row will be Suleiman Zamfari with Shahan Ali Mosin in third.